are not ready for a handshake. And I think we can take a photo with them so that... Ladies and gentlemen of the press, we are gathered here this morning just to introduce to you the Nyeri Audit Committee, a first in this county, and a clear indication of our commitment towards fighting corruption and doing things right. The appointment of this committee is a constitutional requirement that has not been done before in this county, but because we are committed to doing things right, we have decided, after a long and laborious process, to have this team behind me to be the county audit team. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to introduce to you Sophie Muturi, who is going to be the chairperson of the Nyeri County Audit Committee. She is here with me. She is well experienced, has worked in various government arms, and will be talking to you and telling you a little about what she does. We also have Pauline behind me. She is there with us. We also have John Ngure Mwangi. I also have Michael Chege. I have Margaret. Margaret is one of my ministers in charge of education. And we'll also be appointing one other person from our county treasury so that they have a team of 6. This committee will be, among other things, be expected to receive our internal audit reports, check for their veracity, and do their due diligence to ensure that they can give us the correct and true picture of how we are moving and how we are doing our business. They will have initially a term of 3 years, but the Constitution, the PFM Act requires that a third of them retire every year. And so once they are settled and they have had their very first meeting, we will then look for a way to decide who retires at the end of the first year, the second year, and the third year moving forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a giant step towards ensuring that things are done in the right way in this county. We want to make sure that this, which has continued to be an audit query in all the 5 years that audits have been done in Nyeri, no longer is an audit query. And so we want to welcome this team, to actually ask them to do their very best, let them do what they are mandated to do by the Constitution and by the PFM Act, so that they are able to execute their mandate. We as a government will provide them with every need that they require, every help and every resource that will be needed. It will be at their disposal. It is also important to note that there will be an independent committee that will do the audits and receive the audit reports, and also be able to report to us as the executive, so that we are able to make decisions that will be based on fact. As we speak, it is important that we remind the people of Nyeri that at this moment we have about 5 of our officers in court because of getting involved in odd and corrupt ways. As we are speaking, another two are going to court today, are having their day in court today, because we've declared that we would want Nyeri to have everything done in the right way. Remember, we are guided by 3 key issues, that is growth and development, transparency and accountability in this county. This is just but a step towards fulfilling that. In due course, we will be inviting you as we launch the county budget and economic forum, another of the requirements expected of us to do, and we are in advanced stage of appointing those team. So thank you very much. I could take a question if any, before we can now ask Sophie to come and introduce the committee and then speak to you.
Which department are the officers based in?
Pardon?
From which department?
Revenue collection. The Department of Revenue. We have about 5 of our officers who are in Karatina. 2 already are going to court today. They are from Muiga, Kiani West. And this is a purge that is going on. We have asked the police and the CID to continue investigating because we have continued to lose revenue and it will not be allowed to, it will not be business as usual, no.
Your Excellencies. All of you here might be aware that audit committees were previously not present in national government, ministries, departments, agencies, and county governments until the PFM Act came into being. For county governments, if you look at Section 155(5) of the PFM Act, it indicates that the government shall establish an audit committee whose composition and functions are contained in the PFM Regulations 2015. In addition to the PFM regulations, and in order to actualize the formation of the audit committees, the Cabinet Secretary, National Treasury, in April 2016 gazetted audit committee guidelines, which we are following, which were followed in setting up this committee, and you can access them online. As indicated in the guidelines, the audit committee forms one of the key pillars in corporate governance. It's one of the key pillars. There are 3 others. One of the others is the executive in this case. If it was a company, it would be the board. The other one is internal audit, and the last one is external auditors. According to Section 168 of PFMR, the PFM regulations, the main functions of the audit committee, I want you to get this correctly, and this I am quoting from Section 168 of PFM regulations. The main function of the audit committee is to support the accounting officers with regard to their responsibilities for issues of risk, control, and governance, and associated assurances. And that is provided that the responsibility of a management of risk, control, and governance remains with the management of the concerned government institution. It is not us to come and manage. It is the government institution that is to do that. What we do is support. Number 2, it is to follow up on the implementation of the recommendations of internal and external auditors. Now, how is this achieved? The audit committee introduces an independent perspective and a process to help the executive to be assured that the control and governance processes are in place and in accordance with their executive policies that they have issued. So we ensure that is followed. The audit committee comes up with a charter, which we will do. Because this is the first audit committee, there is no charter in place. We are going to prepare that. And what is contained in that charter, the responsibilities of the audit committee will be to obtain assurance from management that all financial and non-financial internal control and risk functions are operating effectively and reliably. Number 2, to provide an independent review of an entity's reporting functions to ensure the integrity of financial reports. And thirdly, provide oversight of an entity's internal audit function. 4, provide liaison and facilitate communication between management and external audit. And 5, provide oversight of the implementation of accepted audit recommendations and many others. Now, The audit committee will be responsible also over financial reporting, narrative reporting, whistleblowing, and things like that. What I would like to say for my committee as the chairman, as you can already sense, the journey is likely to be long and challenging. And what I want to assure Your Excellencies and the great people of Nyeri County is that this committee is competent and up to the task and confident and will deliver on its mandate. Finally, as the chairperson, the greatest achievement for me and for my team will be to have the audit opinion of this county change from disclaimer to unqualified. That may be a bit technical, but the audit opinion given for